BTP, Big Business Technology for Small Business.
Good afternoon, welcome. It's Michael from BTP. How are you? Today I have a question for you. In fact, today I need your help. So I'd really like some comments, I'd really like some shares, I'd like some input, some ideas. I'm asking for your help. So last night I had the privilege of representing small business in South Australia. Last night I was surrounded by people from SA government, federal government, all kinds of people, from the Small Business Commissioner through to various people that help outback rural communities in small business, things like that. What we're working on is something called the Small Business Resiliency Policy. Resiliency. Now, the first thing I asked them, change the name. Doesn't mean anything to us. Well, I don't know about you, but it means nothing to me. So does it mean something to you? If you heard the word resiliency, does it tell you what it's all about? Now, what we're about is disaster mitigation, or trying to work out how to make a small business survive through a disaster. Now, this could be something simple. It could be that there's roadworks out the front of your business and there's no walk past traffic and you have to close for a few days, or a burst water main, or a fire, Samson Flat Fire, that held a lot of people back from work. It could be a flu outbreak, a flood at the office, or a theft at the office, or a crypto ransomware. It could be anything. So this could be things like having backups in place, a business continuity plan in place, disaster recovery, insurance, cybercrime insurance, obviously all the fire protection and fire sprinklers and what have you. Then you've got backup batteries and generators and all kinds of backup plans of what can go wrong in a disaster. Now, the thing is, the government are finding it very hard to talk to people about resiliency. Small businesses aren't listening. We're not getting involved. We're not making our businesses resilient. Is it because the word resiliency doesn't really reflect what it really means for us? I don't know. For me, it didn't. It didn't strike a chord. Disaster, yes, it struck a chord. Resiliency, I would have ignored that word and kept going. Your business, do you have a business continuity plan? Do you have a disaster recovery plan? Have you worked out what you're going to do in your small business of 3 people if 2 can't come into work? Do you have enough money in the bank to go through a small period of no power for 3-4 days? Do you have a plan to take your food out of your freezer and give it to your neighbour? Do you have a plan? And the question came about because people don't seem to have a plan. They don't have insurance. They don't have any of these things in control. So how does SA government or federal government reach out and talk to us small business people about this problem? Now, if I think about it, the National Australia Bank, they had mobile lenders. Then I saw it with Aussie Home Loans and I saw it with a bunch of others as well. Now I'm seeing it with insurance companies and a lot of other people. They have people that come out and visit you. The thing that I think works for that, as a small business owner, we're time poor. We can't go to them. We don't have the time to sit down and listen. Webinars, there's too many. Emails, caught in the spam filter. Send me a pamphlet in the mail and somebody else ditches it before I get to see it. I think that unless you trap a small business person in their boardroom, sit down with them, or in any room really, then you're not going to get their attention. And who has the right insurance? Well, I don't understand very much about insurance. I understand stock insurance, car insurance, key man insurance. There's all these different insurances. So what we really need as small business people, I feel, is somebody who comes in, listens to us, works out the type of business, works out the threats to our business, and then comes up with a unique plan for us and says, right, here is your disaster recovery plan. You need to get this insurance, this backup, this power protection, make sure you've got this fire retardant, and blah, 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 whatever it might be. Okay. In the 10, 11 years I've been in business personally, we've been flooded a couple of times. We've had hail damage to our vehicles. We've had flu outbreaks. We've had all kinds of things happen. So I've been on the spot and I've had this problem where the business can't run and we've had to come up with a continuity plan, and luckily we have one. And we have a DR plan. But I still don't know if I've got the right insurance. I still need someone to go through that for me and explain it to me. I need somebody to cut through the rubbish and give me just the essence of what I need as a business owner. And I feel that's where this resiliency thing is going off the rails. I feel that it's not being targeted at the small business owner because it's expecting us to go and find the resources. It expects us to go to the website. He expects us to go crawling around in Google and find our answers, to talk to our insurance company, to talk to all the different, maybe even IT companies about your backups and your preparedness for ransomware and things like that. So I think what's happening is that they're creating all these resources, they're putting them out there, and us as small business owners, we're not finding them, we're not seeing them, we don't have the time to look at them. And I'm trying to encourage them a little bit to somehow get in front of us and grab our attention. And it's very important for us to be able to know that we're covered in these situations. So look, I would like some comments from you. I want to know what you think of the word resiliency, for starters. Secondly, I want to know, do you have generator, power protection, backups, ransomware protection, fire protection, flood protection? What happens if you lose your vehicle for a few days? Do you have anything there? Do you have a backup plan of some kind? A continuity plan so that you know if there's no money in the till, what are you going to do? You've got a bank overdraft, you've got, I don't know, a market rate facility, you've got everything worked out. Because this information, we need to pull it together, explain to the federal government and state government what we need as a small business. If you're out at two wells, you're going to need flood insurance. If you're in the city, well, when the Clipsal's on, business dries up, what do? You need a plan. So we need to get the information together from the small business owners. I need your ideas, what resiliency is, how you're resilient, what you'd like to see more of, and what sort of thing would you need from the government to kick us in the butt to make us do these things? Do we need government incentives? Or do we need them to implement rules like the Privacy Act and the notifiable data breach and come in with a heavy hand? What does the government need to do to get us to look at the information they have online and for us to sort our businesses out? We need this stuff, we just don't know what we need. So the government's trying to help us, but I don't think necessarily it's the right approach. My place sitting on this committee is to give feedback from small businesses. So I would like you to share this video. I want to hear your comments. I want to take what small businesses have to say and bring this to the table. Last night, for about 2 hours, I sat there and listened and listened and listened as each person from each government department got up and spoke, and then they turned around and gave me the floor. For half an hour, I had all of their attention. For half an hour, I was able to tell them some of the pains that small business have, but I only know my pains. I'd like to know your pains. So let us know, and I'll get back with a list of stuff. We meet again in the next few months, and hopefully we can, between all of us in small business, come together with some ideas to help the government talk to us and help us to be more resilient or disaster protected, whatever the favourite word would be. Alrighty, well, thank you very much. Not necessarily an IT topic today, but something I think is very important and that we should all get behind. And I think this is a great program. It's a great initiative they're starting. We just need to steer it a little bit to help us, the small business guy. Have a great day.